2025 is looking like it's going to be another great year for horror. We've got a lot of things to look forward to already. So with that in mind, I'll be ranking the top 10 most anticipated horror movies of 2025 on this episode of Ranking Rumble. Welcome back to WWH. My name is Andrew Dreamer. Thank you for joining me here today. It's going to be a really fun show. We're going to cover a lot of information today, talk about a lot of movies, and just get excited for what's coming. It's such an interesting time for the horror genre. There's such a good mix of every subgenre right now. There's not one that's just dominating the market, and I love that. It means there is truly something for everybody. I promise you, you'll find something you like. Of course, I can only include movies that we know about. There are always several horror movies that get announced and released out of nowhere, and usually there are some pretty good ones in that bunch. So go ahead and let me know down in the comments what horror movie you are most looking forward to in 2025. And be sure to body slam that subscribe button as hard as you can so you never miss any of the hard-hitting, chill-inducing 5-star matches we have here at WWH. But let's not stand on ceremony here, Mr. Wayne. It is bell time, so grab your popcorn and make your way to your seat. Let's head down to the ring. Starting us off at number 10, we have Heart Eyes. This is a movie that I hadn't heard too much about until recently, and when more and more information started coming out, I was intrigued. Look, I love holiday-themed horror movies, especially slashers, so this is right up my alley. The film is directed by Josh Rubin and co-written by Christopher Landon. It also has some other big names attached to stars such as Olivia Holt, Mason Gooding, Devon Sawa, and Jordana Brewster. Not a ton is known about the plot of the movie, but it's being marketed as a romantic comedy slasher film, which is really intriguing to me. I'm sure there have been others, but seeing those words written, I was just like, huh, that's interesting. In the last couple days, the film was officially rated R for strong violence and gore, so I'm glad they're going all out in that regard. I'm hoping for some really good special effects. Heart Eyes is set to come out on February 7th, just in time for Valentine's Day, so be sure to check it out when it's released. I know I will be. Next up, we have Megan 2.0. Now, I will admit, I am not as big of a fan of the first movie as a lot of other people. I thought it was good, but it wasn't my favorite. That being said, I'm still excited for the sequel. I'm excited to see how they build upon this story and the world. I want to know what direction they're going to go next. It's the same crew returning to make this film, so I think that does work in its favor. Gerard Johnstone returns to direct while Akilah Cooper returns to pen the script. You also have Allison Williams, Violet McGraw, and Amy Donald returning to star in the film. I do have faith that this group has what it takes to make the sequel just as good as the first, or maybe even better. But I can't help but hold a bit of reservation. Some movies are like lightning in a bottle, and I can't help but wonder if that was Megan. Did it just come out at the right time under the right circumstances to make it a success? I truly hope that I'm wrong here. I really do. But as of right now, Megan 2.0 is set for release on June 27th. We'll see if that gets pushed back at all. They are in post-production already, so hopefully it won't. Coming in at number 8, we have The Black Phone 2. When the first film was released back in 2021, I didn't watch it right away. I was interested in it, but it was just one of those that I didn't get around to until later on. But once I did watch it, I thought it was really good. Ethan Hawke, to me, is such a good actor. And he's one of those big name stars who isn't afraid to delve into horror. I always appreciate that. And that's how I feel about Kevin Bacon as well. But Ethan Hawke does a phenomenal job portraying the grabber in The Black Phone. And I remember when it came out, people immediately wanted to see more, and that seems to be the main reason that we're getting a sequel. I honestly don't think the story warranted a sequel, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited. I too want to see more of Ethan Hawke in this role. You've got basically the whole cast returning, as well as Scott Derrickson in the director's chair. I really hope that when October 17th rolls around, they've come up with a good story that warrants the existence of the sequel. We'll see though. Number 7 in this rumble is The Monkey. Admittedly, I know nothing about this story. I had never read Stephen King's short story. I haven't watched the trailer. The only thing I've done is read that little plot summary on IMDb. And that's how I want to keep it. I want to go into this movie completely blind. Well, I go into every movie blind, but that's because only one of my eyes really works. But you get my point. My main interest in this film is because it's Osgood Perkins' follow-up to Longlegs. From now on, anytime he's got a new movie coming out, I'll be there for it. Perkins also wrote the script for this film, and James Wan is a producer on it. It stars Theo James, Elijah Wood, and I think Rohan Campbell's in it as well. So, to me, it's got all the makings to be an amazing movie, and I seriously can't wait to see it. Hell, even the poster has me intrigued. I mean, I truly have no idea what to expect, but I will say this. Based on who all is involved, I highly doubt that I'll be disappointed. Sure, I'm going to be busy this year trying to keep up with all these movies, but hey, like I said in the last video, I feel rejuvenated, so I'm up for it. February 21st cannot come soon enough. Our number 6 entrant is Wolfman. Now, I have been pumped for this movie ever since it was first announced. And when I learned that Leigh Whannell was directing it, I was even more pumped. Leigh Whannell has, in my mind, proved himself to be one of the best horror directors working right now. Both Upgrade and The Invisible Man are so good. Not to mention the fact that he's had a hand in creating some of the biggest horror franchises in modern history, including Saw and Insidious. But back to The Invisible Man. I'm a huge fan of the original Universal monster movies, and I love what Leigh Whannell did with his version. I thought it was a nearly perfect combination, paying homage to the original while still crafting a new story that stands on its own. And I have no doubt he'll do the same with this story. I've seen the trailer and it doesn't give away too much, which I like. Also, I've seen the discourse over the design of the Wolfman, and I'm choosing to keep an open mind with it. I need to see the full movie before I say whether I like the design or not. Luckily, I don't have to wait too long because it comes out on January 17th. Coming in at number 5 is Final Destination Bloodlines. Okay, I have a serious question. Has there ever been a movie with the subtitle Bloodlines that's actually been good? Let's run through the list. Hellraiser? No. Tremors 5? No. Pet Sematary? No. Wrong Turn 5? Hell no. Okay, so basically if your movie is subtitled Bloodlines, it's gonna suck. Final Destination, please break that trend. Please give us a movie that is worthy of carrying the Final Destination name. The franchise already has a couple entries that are at best questionable. But I will say, for the most part, I enjoy the franchise. I love the first 2 movies, and the 5th one is really good too. So I hope this new one falls into that category. Here's the thing though. We don't really know anything official about the plot. There are reports that it's about a girl who has a premonition that dates back to the 1960s, which is seemingly confirmed by some of the set photos that I've seen. I really hope this movie comes out in May like it's supposed to, because I'm really pumped for this one. At number 4, we have Thanksgiving 2. I know there was a bit of mixed response for the first film, but I had so much fun with it. To me, this type of movie is where Eli Roth shines. This is his bread and butter. That doesn't mean that it's necessarily your taste, but it is my taste. Like I said, I really enjoyed the first one, and I immediately knew that there was going to be sequels. I know the second film is supposed to start filming very soon, so I hope there are no delays or anything like that. Otherwise, we may have to wait another year for this one. But I'm including it because I'm hopeful. It also seems like most, if not all, of the surviving characters will be returning, which is to be expected. I look for Roth and the team to up the ante in terms of the kills and the gore as well. And yes, this may be a little higher on the list than other people would put it, but I seriously had so much fun with the first one. I absolutely loved it. I just couldn't help myself. Like I said though, I'm holding out hope that they get this done in time for November this year. Otherwise, I'm going to be a very sad man. We shall see though. Our number 3 entrant is I Know What You Did Last Summer. This film is currently in production and we know little to nothing about the plot. We know it's about a group of friends being terrorized by someone who knows a dark secret about their past. That plot description could be applied to any number of films, not just the original of this franchise. We do know that both Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are returning for this Legacy sequel, but we do not know in what capacity. Personally, I have a feeling it'll be in a smaller role. Maybe the new group goes to them for advice after learning about what they went through all those years ago. And you know what? That's probably a good thing. I don't think they need to rely on original characters to carry this movie. Give us a story that stands on its own. Give us something that's different but similar enough to exist in the same universe. I really enjoy the first two films, so of course I'm excited for this one. As of now, the film is scheduled for release on July 18th, so we'll see if that changes or not. Number 2 in this ranking rumble is 28 Years Later. I feel like this is probably going to be most people's most anticipated film of the year, and that's for good reason. 28 Days Later came out in 2002. The sequel, 28 Weeks Later, came out in 2007. We've been waiting 18 years for part 3. The first one is so freaking good. It was a different kind of zombie movie, but it worked so well. The second one wasn't bad either, but all of these years later, we've got the original team of Danny Boyle and Alex Garland back for this film, and I could not be more ecstatic. I honestly wasn't sure what to expect, but then I saw the trailer, and damn did that get me even more excited. I honestly think that was one of the best trailers that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm not even joking when I say that. It was perfect. It didn't show you too much, just enough to tease you and give you a little taste of what's to come. The sound design of it was immaculate. It added so much tension to the trailer. It's just insane. I highly recommend checking that out if you haven't already seen that. Plus, we're getting Cillian Murphy back in some capacity. Hurry up, June 20th. I know you're probably wondering, what could possibly top this movie? For our number 1 entrant, we have Hell House LLC Lineage. If you've been around the channel for a while, you know I absolutely love the Hell House franchise. In fact, it's my favorite franchise in modern horror. In my opinion, there's not a single one of these movies that's bad. I know not everyone will agree with that, but it's okay. We're allowed to have different opinions. Based on what writer and director Stephen Cognetti has said, this will in all likelihood be the last entry in the series, which kind of makes me sad in a way, but if it ends in a way that feels conclusive, I'm all for it. Now, he has also said that this one may not necessarily be found footage. That aspect, I'm not so sure how to feel about it. I mean, I applaud him for trying to do something different. I just don't know how it'll come across on screen. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because I doubt we'll see a whole lot before the movie's actually released. We got a mid-credits scene after Carmichael Manor, so we knew that there was going to be another one, but I just didn't expect it to happen this quick. Needless to say, I need October to get here, like, now. But there you have it. Those are my top 10 most anticipated horror movies of 2025. Let me know down in the comments what you think about my list. Did I leave any off? Let's talk about it and get pumped for what's looking like should be a great year for horror movies. I'm going to do my best to review all of these movies as they come out, but it's a lot, so please bear with me on that. If you're interested in Redcon One products, I have a discount code that you can use to save 20% off of your entire order. Be sure to check that out. You can also find all of my merchandise available at ProWrestlingTees.com/AndrewDreamer or right under this video here on the channel. Also, head over to Patreon and check out that and consider joining us over there, or you can become a member right here on YouTube. All of the links are in the description below. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss any of the action here at WWH. Now that we've talked about the 10 most anticipated horror movies of 2025, check out another one of our videos by clicking this one that's on your screen right now. And remember, in the squared circle of horror, there are no countouts for nightmares. My name is Andrew Dreamer, and this is Wrestling with Horror.